Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 13 of Euclid, our vanilla cities to build. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Euclid's population has grown significantly over the last few episodes, especially as the downtown and Upper Benedict has gone in. And already at episode 12, we're at 68,000 population, which is quite a lot, really. So I want to slow that down a little bit. And today's project is the perfect excuse to do that, right? Really love this hillside. Like, seriously, to get distracted, sorry, at the beginning of another episode, like, this might be one of my favourite hills ever. Really is. Love it. Regardless, today, as all these new people have arrived, I'd like to develop road interchanges around here, changing our road hierarchy, and also giving connection to this, and then hopefully, within those new road frames, that will allow for some farmland to come in. We don't really have the space to build farmland yet. I want to get it out here, but to buy these tiles is significant amounts of millions, as you can see, to buy those, which we do not have yet, and can't really afford to pay for all that land, so the imports will have to keep supplying our resources, but there is some fertile land here, so we can make use of some farmland, I think, just to try and balance those farming production chains. Either way, let's grab today's tiles, so we'll grab these 4. There we go. And this will open up, maybe even that one as well. So those 5, which really opens up this whole hillside for us here. So from this initial road, I already know this is going to become couplet system. And let's use a 1 meter gap here. We'll line ourselves up in the middle of the road. That should be mostly even. We should be coming up a pretty big hill here. I can then go uphill over there. I'd also like this to cross the river here as well, joining up with the junction here. We will lose a custom playground, which is a little bit of a shame. Precious childhood memories must be obliterated in the name of progress, I'm afraid. Now, we've got quite the height discrepancy between the 2 layers here, so I'm going to do a slope with the road as the target, and then just going to go straight across the stream. Just know the land here is perfectly graded. That will help the bridges settle in. And obviously, with a smaller brush, let's just reclaim the stream through the middle there. With a little bit of soften. Should just take the sting out of it, I think. Now let's draw this across again using our parallel function. Let's take that straight into the middle. And there's definitely room here for the road hierarchy to continue to change too. So let's have 2 lanes here now. Here, I'm also going to add a little highway slip road just off onto the road here as well. Something like that seems pretty tasty, doesn't it? And then it's also grass up as well. Don't really want people parking here, to be honest. And then also 2 lanes, just where we're going to get more traffic coming through this now. And maybe even a touch of asymmetry here too. Just so these roads have extra capacity. And these guys are already arriving into a one-way flow system, so it shouldn't be too much extra strain on the traffic systems through this area. Don't mind that. And then let's also do some extra laneage towards the junctions here. Upgrade that one to 3 lane, and then we'll also have this as 3 lane as well. Super. I just want to push back the land there just to expose those concrete pillars a little bit, actually. I think that'll give us almost like a nice little framing for the stream as it passes through under the highway here. Really do enjoy the waterways on this map. Fabulous, and that should continue to flow quite nicely, and also gives access into the town into a pretty major area, which will take pressure off of this one as a result, and then the one further down the road as well. That's worked out wonderfully. There's lots of detailing we can do with our roads as well these days. Let's come into a bit of sand surface here. And just want to run this. Let's just maybe cover the grass, shall we? And then we'll just have some sand surface sat between our little layers there. So not too horrendous a gradient, that is it, especially when you're looking at it from down in the park space here as well. Happy with that. Wonderful. This possibly might be too harsh a gradient though, so I think we're totally going to change what happens around here. I'm thinking a bit of a trumpet system. I'm developing something with the roads through here, so we'll recall this right now. I know I just drew it in, but we're going to re-slope here, I think, a little bit. Last week's episode being an example of why we do spend time with our slope in here. Now with this level here, I envision I want to mark this off as quite a distinctive layer for that highway to pass back over. And then we'll develop some traffic systems here that also come around to hook into this layer, which will also slope while we're here, up to the same level, somewhere like there. I think really with how much vanilla road networking has improved with CS2, with just the road tools, you can just spend hours developing infrastructure. And it's honestly one of the best bits of the game. It's really where CS2 shines. The road tools could be a game on their own right, I think, in some aspects. But let's establish our bottom layers first. We're going to grab this highway here. And this will just run very simply under this district here, coming through to this way. I imagine this will form or hold some row houses eventually, kind of similar to what happened to Upper Benedict here. I envision maybe these slopes also holding some homes that look across a very low polygon. Benedict there. Hopefully it'll load in. They should have a pretty cool view from here as well. Yeah, look at that, right? That's going to be a great approach into the city from here, isn't it? Such a cool point of arrival that into the town. Let's come back to our couplet roads. We shouldn't need to elevate at all really here, because the terrain is giving us the layer for us. And really we just want to slope until we don't get that little bow in the road. And we're also going to come off just at angle snapping here as well, so we can get that in. It's a minus 2% gradient there. That clears us fairly nicely there, doesn't it? And then start back to geometry, and then hopefully you should just go straight the way back down. And once we're across, just 180-degree snap. Everyone's pretty happy there. And then just a little bit of slope, or soften rather, just to blend everyone back in here. Cool, and we can transition our layers relatively nicely around here, can't we? So to give this a connection down here as well, let's take all this single road back. We'll just plug this in here for right now because I want to see just what sort of traffic uses this road to get back down into the town over there. But we'll develop it a bit further later on in the episode. With this over here now, I also want this road to come essentially to the one we just drew. So with a similar height level here, again, any major terraforming work, just bear with it. What's the distance through here? So we'll stay mostly on the same contour. Digging it out again, a lot of soften will blend this back in. Just roughly till we get to where the road is about there, isn't it? It is indeed. Fantastic. Just so we can make a connection here. Just a bit of civil engineering on the landscape. Nothing serious. Soften should be fine. Cool, so let's have this road go all the way down that ridge line now. Place this here, and I wouldn't be averse, I think, to another roundabout also being present here, and we'll do some asymmetrical splices at the smaller lane here as well. So this is just going to interconnect a whole load of little national road systems, allowing access to different parts of Benedict, which once well, I guess we've just been through a rush hour, but we've not seen any traffic, so we'll wait for the next one at 5 PM. And then see if we can capture some nice traffic flow as they move between all these layers. There's definitely scope for some ramps here too, so let's do this. We will come up with... So from here to here is a very basic ramp, but it'll be one that gets a bit of use, I imagine. So let's have this one curve off around there. I'm just going to break up the little segments here so I can use the third lane to peel off back up the hill here. Something like that should be pretty nice. Look at that already, they're using it straight away. Isn't that interesting? Maybe that's because I just drew it in, it changes path maybe, I'm not sure. But we'll find out. Obviously this one to here isn't really needed because they have that exit right there. 100% I want people to be able to exit off of here though. So let's do some sloping here. It's a much smaller brush for work like this. Let's say about there. And we'll just guide it into these slopes here. If you're not familiar with the terraforming tools, by the way, there is a tutorial on the channel for it. Again, I'm just going to line up where I want this third lane to sit. That allows me to peel off much easier. That can be my new height there. Let's just bring that up. Perfect. And I think we're going to come off with 2 lanes here. We'll come down here just for a very short stretch. And with some more slope in here, let's bring that up. And then we'll bring this one up as well. Now we're going to split the lanes again. Coming down from this one will come out on the right. This can peel off. Yeah. Joining up with the highway there. And then this other lane can come down and come into this one. Something like that. And then a little bit soften just to blend in those man-made layers. With a bit of everything else around it. Super. And that should be quite a lot of fun there, I think. And then one final connection to make here. This one will slope up around there, I reckon. Then here I'll add 3-lane asymmetrical. And then use that extra lane to just peel off here. We should be able to get quite a nice even curve there. Yeah, that seems pretty tasty to me. Then again, let's upgrade our segment first. Just find it gives us a nice little spot to nestle into. Somewhere about there, right? And then there's lots of little refinement we can add to these slip lanes on the edge here. So we can do a bit of 3-lane asymmetry here on the way up to the bridge as this extra lane joins us. And we can also add a turning lane there. I wouldn't even be averse to another little traffic flow system here as well. Let's do one of the murals maybe. Little flower roundabout there. And then with this one here actually, sorry, we actually want to reverse the asymmetry there. Just so it gives the turn lane off and up onto those highway roads. Wonderful. There's lots of different little layers and stuff happening through here. We can do perhaps maybe some more landscaped grass perhaps on the entrance into the town, you imagine. Probably the city council maybe puts a bit of effort in. Bit of landscaping if you like. Or we keep it sand, keep it more sort of rugged and like the side of a dusty old highway, you know. Let's also connect these 2 layers together as well. This is quite a steep gradient, so we're going to do quite a wide switch back on this, I think. Let's come up to here, and then from this one we'll slope up and do a very obvious sort of S bend slope up to the point here. Excuse. There you go, Coco playing with the toys behind me while I am recording. Of course. She chooses now. Oh, there we go again. That probably means it's time for a walk, everyone. If you're wondering. If this, oh, there he is. It's a constant encore. If yeah, the squeaky elephant is out, it's definitely time for a walk, I think. So, I'll have to go and do that in a second. We'll get this road done first though, Coco. Please bear with us. So we'll almost have a little bit elevated here, actually. We'll start the slope from this sort of space. And then let's bring it up against the road. There we go. I'm much happier with that. I think we'll also bring in a little bit of an asymmetrical road to line up with this road as well. Just as an extra slip, so rather than having to come down to the main junction, you can just slip off here. If indeed you need to. We'll probably have some asymmetry here as well. Let's have that come 180 degrees from there. And then we'll keep this actually as one directional with no left turn at the top. You know, just as a way to merge on. And there's no need for a ramp to come off this way. Just saves them going down there, doesn't it? And then a little bit more soften. And everyone should be happy. We got some rocks and deeper forest. Even some highway art as well, I think. With some of the surfaces, I suppose some of the pathway will work as well, won't it? We have a go at some highway art. It's been a long time since we've done it, so we'll grab our pathway. It's always a fun way to decorate your interchanges. As an example right here, we'll do... Let's do 24 meters as our head. We'll round the body off, if we can. Something like that. And then let's just bring out a couple little legs. Should be a little space there. And this will give us the return of highway total for CS2. Just a nice little bit of highway decoration. We'll give him kind of a cocky smirk, right? Like, he knows what's going on, doesn't he? And that'll sit as a really, as a really nice bit of highway art, which is surprisingly visible from the town below, isn't it? There's loads of inspiration for this across like the southwest of America. You'll find it a lot around Phoenix, Arizona, is where I found a lot of my highway art. You get all sorts of little symbols and animals made out of these decorations. But as an analysis of how everything's flowing now, how about this over here? Really wonderful, isn't it? Let's head down the road here as well. So this will definitely function as a bit of a faster bypass road one day, I think, and especially access onto this suburb once it exists here. Otherwise, people using this one now to go up to the express roads. We'll come to develop this interchange in a second, but this one getting some really nice flow now, and it really nicely layered onto what is still pretty difficult terrain because we're building on the same sort of land that Upper Benedict is on here as well, right? So still insane gradients to be building on, but managing to make the most of it, I think, here. And then we'll also add a little merging lane here for them too. Do you want to add... We could have that there. That does provide the turn I've just added, but... Yeah, I guess they're cutting across traffic in both ways, but you know, they could just give way. I think actually I do like the option there. I think I might actually go with that way instead, you know. I think I just prefer that. We could even just open that node up a touch more by adding on the second lane there. Just gives everything a bit more breathing room, doesn't it? Super, so with this area taken care of, let's move further up the mountain now to discuss what's going on here. Let's continue to develop this as couplet rather than single lane country road. And for our American viewers, if you have any suggestions of kind of like small American farming towns that can lie up here in this bit of Yoakley, I would love to hear your suggestions. Leave me some town names in the comments below. So a very similar process to what we did further down here. Probably just going to use a basic trumpet system here. In terms of where this road's going to go, I imagine probably take this road across actually, because at some point I want this national road to connect to this one over here. Not in any kind of major interchange way, but at some point it'll connect in, so that's a road I want to factor in. There's another lake down here. There's another one over here too. Okay. Maybe not a trumpet then, because I want to have access to that area, which I think is where this arterial system will head, with a view to eventually make it over to that national road that we just went and checked out on the other side of the map. Doing some extreme long-term road planning today, which might be the title of today's episode. So we'll just send it down here for right now. Of course, it'll be probably quite a few episodes before we get to building out this way, but something to look forward to. So for the time being, I'm going to bring this through as a single network, but I think we'll come back in a second here and actually develop this into a bit of a diverging diamond system. That can go off over there. Of course, we'll connect that in the future, but another country road for us to pick up. So it's pretty simple to develop diverging diamond systems with the highway tools because they're so flexible in terms of switching their lanes around. So we want to just draw a road here so we can mark it off. This is where we'll have our first diverge. Go on to couplet, swing around the other side, and let's go for 0.5 meters in the middle. So we'll have our couplet system roads run on a curve. If we can actually, we'll try to respect the curve of the roads here rather than having it all super straight and almost gridded. So we'll have that out there. And obviously we just want to change the direction of these so it becomes a diverging diamond. And I'm also going to trim this one back as well, bring this one out as couplet. Oh, let's go back to our parallel road here as well. And then we'll do this one a little bit further up than that. There we go. And then we'll just cut them across each other like that. Now slip roads here, we'll have these come in just into the middle. Around here. There'll be a connection point there. And then that'll give us our opportunity to bring this down. We'll need a bit of a curve here, I think, actually. So let's do this sort of approach. And then just a simple mirroring of that same process the other side. We'll have this one, sort of line it up in the middle. There is probably a road guideline you can hit here, but I'm happy just to freeboard it. The road tools are pretty responsive. So actually come out from this one here. And then in terms of the gradient here, let's begin to align our hillsides now. So the height here is there. Let's push that back just a little bit. And then we'll grade from this back to our current road position. And then we can have the couplet run, which will probably continue all the way out to the outside connection eventually. Once we get out here. I do just enjoy my couplet systems, especially with our little road tool now built into the road tools. It's almost difficult to not do it. Cool. Something like that. So you get the diverge in the middle here using the road tools. You can do it with regular road tools, but you've not got as much flexibility with the lane control. You can drop down and snap to individual highway lanes like this. You don't get that with the regular roads. But a fun little way to do it. I think there is also a placeable diverging diamond as well, isn't there? If I can find it. Oh no, maybe there's not. Could have sworn there was. Maybe it's CS1 I'm thinking of. Maybe one of Teddy's, maybe. But let's also do that this side as well. And super. That gives us a really fun little divergent diamond system that flows around now. Of course, with the road tools, you can make it fit any kind of space you want. Like that's not perfectly rigid and straight, you know. A fun way just to expand the traffic system, of course. Really fun design. That'll get some really nice flow. Gives us access to different parts of the city over here as well, I think. So coming up to create some mock farmland on the edge of the interchange here. We'll use some of the different surfaces a bit creatively, I think. So let's come in with grass surface number 2. Now we will use some real farms eventually once we come to build our farm area. But I just want to sketch out the rough shape of a field here. Okay, something like that. And then let's grab our trees. We'll come to a very, very small bush size with quite a high strength too. And then I just want to run this around the edge of the field here. Just quick little spurts of tree brush. I'm going to clear out what's in the middle there too. And then we'll mix in some other trees as well. Keep it all the same. But just as we repeat this aesthetic, we'll also keep the tree lines running as well. Let's also clear out the area before we start. And then we'll come back to a very small tree brush. And then we'll do a field here. Classic countryside detail we've been doing for years in CS now. tree lines to do like little developments, fields, etc. Will be very welcome. Okay, and then maybe we can use, let's say, sand surface number 1. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not going to do it perfectly straight. You know, field boundaries aren't very straight at all. Fences are bendy and they break and whatnot over time. I'm not sure how this sand surface will work, but we'll check it out. From the bird's eye perspective, it's a little bit better. It's just, I think some of the problem with some of these textures, you know, it'd be nice to get some fields, wouldn't it? Hopefully in an update, they're going to add more textures for us. But until that point, we'll have to do a little bit of make-believe with some of the sand stuff. From the kind of bird eye perspective, as we begin to build this up against the highway, it will give us the field aesthetic, won't it? As we build against the road there. Which I think is a bit more interesting than just regular grassland, which we will use in some places. But I think, you know, driving past fields on a highway is also such a powerful visual, isn't it? So something to detail the roads there as well. By the way, let's detail up our national road networks here today, and then we'll be right back. Before we round off the episode, guys, there is an absolute explosion of just walking ant porn right here. At the rush hour at the station, especially as the trams unload. Just catch a little look at this. Easily just one of the best transit hubs we've set up in CS2, I think. There you go, especially when the white tram arrives. You ready for that? No, hello people. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It's so nice. It's so nice to see some like mad rush hour scurry in CS2. Seriously cool little busy plaza, that, isn't it? Either way, guys, that will do it for today. Some pretty critical infrastructure today, and really sorted out kind of this southern hill of Benedict that really only has probably one build left over here now, that kind of southern hillside suburb to round out the town. And then besides the university expansion, that'll probably do it for Benedict. We'll head up and start a new town in the next couple of episodes, I imagine. And I certainly want to spend a whole episode working on some of the countryside themes. The fields turned out really nicely. There's a mixture of surfaces, animal farming, cotton farming, and grain farms in there too, also with some power lines and dirt roads knocking about to hold the assets so they can get service in, which has actually helped slightly balance the production chains. But we will certainly spend a full episode detailing up some countryside fields because the production chain really does need it at this point to support what is now a 70,000+ population city, which is quite big. Definitely still getting used to how fast cities expand in CS2. They seem to grow so much quicker. I think it's because the game has like medium density options now. You just get so many more numbers in with the medium density numbers. But yeah, I definitely want to slow the growth down a little bit. Nearly 80,000 for episode 14 is quite a lot. But projects like this allow us to do that, and we've had a lot of fun today expanding some of these roadworks. Hope it's left you with some inspiration. Massive shout out to the patrons and YouTube members that support these videos, with a roll call to our golden patron eggs: Hot Wolf, Blythe, Casino, Louis Adlam, Michael W, Phoenix MD, Spartan Angel, and Wesley Kip. Thank you so much indeed for all of your support, guys. I really appreciate it. I am due to be moving house quite soon, so expect maybe a little dip in videos, but I'm preparing as far in advance as I possibly can, so there shouldn't be too much disturbance to the schedule, hopefully. Either way, I hope you're all still enjoying Yoakley. Enjoy the cinematics, and I'll shut up and leave it there. I'd thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.